All right. And Megan and Alicia, you're both are monitoring the waiting room, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, good. Perfect, thanks, Nelson.
Nelson.
Hi, Scott Barry.
Hi, Scott.
How are you?
Alex.
So we have some folks in-house, which is great. Making some introductions. Thank you, Susan. Ryan from Eversource, we're just gonna rename you. And if anybody else can just rename yourself, that's helpful. Source. Ian. Right. All right, I think we're ready to begin. We've got about 21 or so folks who are on. I'm going to begin. Oh, good, wonderful. Thank you, thank you. So we have some folks in-house and we will first start with some introductions. It's always great to know who is, who's on. And so let's start with Nelson and then let's just go around the room.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone, or morning. Nelson Fernandez. I'm a consultant for the DBA. Mary brought on me recently to help develop the Brockton Business Improvement District and a few more things on with the DBA.
Thank you, Nelson. Alex?
Yeah, I'm Alex. I run the Clean City crew.
Thank you. And Alex came last month, but we had a little technical difficulty, so some of you might have lost some of the information. So thank you, Alex, for coming. Anne.
Hi, Ann Borg, president of the Brockton Garden Club.
Thank you, Anne. Jackie.
Jackie Rose, publisher of the Buzz Around Brockton.
Thank you, Jackie.
Scott Barrier from Holmgren Engineering.
Thank you, Scott. And thank you for, just while I have Scott, Scott was a strong supporter of the Brockton Holiday Parade and sponsor. So again, I see all of those. Thank you for those who have changed your name. So we have, again, it's helpful for folks to see who else is on. And if you haven't, we're going to go right into the agenda if that works out okay for everybody. So the update is, first thing is the fiscal update. Hugo is our treasurer.
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So as of today, we have $16,837.70 in our account. Our ongoing financial activities include constant contact, Verizon phone bill, and website maintenance. New activities include the consultant Nelson Fernandez working on the business improvement district, as well as some small business consulting. Other costs include some small clerical administration. This is the current financial report.
Thank you, Hugo. And if I could ask for those that are a paid member, I need paid members, if someone could make a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion.
Right,
yeah.
thank you, Anne. Is there a second? And I'm looking for, if anybody's questioning whether you are a paid member or not, Mintron, you are a paid member, and John Buckley. So thank you. I'll take that as a second, and then all those in favor of the treasurer's report?
Aye.
And those opposed? Thank you. Next, we're going to talk about the membership. March is our membership drive. So if you have not received a membership form, it is de minimis. It's either $50 or $100. It is renewable on an annual basis every March. Thank you very much for those who are putting this up. Every March, this is when we renew our membership. The membership does bring in revenue to our organization, not just only, again, we talked about constant contact. Our website, is about $1,000 a year. Sometimes we do advertising and things of that nature. So, so if you haven't, don't walk out of here without a membership. And if you have questions about that, I will personally text it or email it to you. But it is on our website. If you make a checkout, you make it out to the Downtown Brockton Association. We have, believe me, you know me. It's also, thank you for putting it into the chat, Elise. The membership piece is really important. As we have, I said at the last meeting, I'm building up the executive committee. That's Megan, that's also, Nelson. Who else is on? I'm trying to think of, Amanda, Hugo, and Shalia. Thank you. So, so if there's anybody who is interested in being on the executive committee, you need to be first a paid member, but secondly, would love to get your involvement. And I would say, just as we build the capacity and we're waiting, I'll get an update a little bit, but while there was someone like Nelson who's gonna be supporting, where it's not on my shoulders, where I have a full-time other job, it's been pretty draining. You guys have heard me too many times, but it really is important so we can keep this going. The investments that not only you as private businesses are making, but the city's making in downtown, it's really important that we continue this. So, so get your memberships. You'll have that till the end of March. And if I don't see you or membership by the end of March, I will hunt you down.
Okay.
How's that? I'll be kind. Any questions about membership?
No.
And again, the expectations are you pay a membership, you have a vote, you have a say, if you can come to our meetings, but you will not be an active if you don't pay, just because we're just like with the Campella Business Association and the Montello Business Association, we really do strive on those memberships. Questions? Anybody? Just raise your hand if there is anything. Moving on, the Business Improvement District, we have Nelson who's going to give an update.
Okay.
All right, so we are in the process of developing a business improvement district for downtown Brockton. In order to get approval, we need 60% of the parcel owners to approve via signing a petition. That's in the district, there are 463 total parcels, and we need 278 of them to sign on. Many parcel owners or many properties are on multiple parcels, so each parcel would count as one vote. We are currently at 25% agreed and signed, and that number is going up pretty rapidly every week. We're still in the process of reaching out to parcel owners and setting up informational sessions with them, just to answer any questions that they might have. So if there are any members on this call now that are also property owners, I have not reached out to you yet. You can expect an email within the next week.
Great, thank you. Any questions? Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, how's it going with that? I mean, is it easy to find out who owns the building?
Yeah, we have all the information already,
Okay,
and all the contact information that we got from the city, from the tax assessor's office.
So
And
really what this is it's the sweat equity. It's
Yeah.
Nelson's feet on the ground,
Right.
meeting with property owners. I mean, a lot of them I've teed up, but he's followed up with them. I have to say that Jason Korb and Station Loft was the first one to sign,
Yeah.
of all the property owners.
You right here now. I've known you so long.
I know. Yeah, come across the street, you'll see why, yeah.
It's not a bad.
But if you haven't, Nelson.
Depends what causes it.
Nelson has in fact reached out and will continue to reach out. We did have a meeting, Joe Casey, Nelson and myself met with the mayor, maybe about a month ago, maybe a little bit less. And there's a lot of city-owned property, so that's in with the mayor and trying to get them to figure that piece out. But in the meantime, property owners are still being sought after. So, yep.
One more, is there anything we can do to support you?
really just getting the word out. I'm going quite literally door to door, meeting property owners.
Have you taped something that you can, repeat maybe?
Not yet.
Okay,
We
that's-
will get there. So just so folks know, so as Hugo provided some background, when he gave the finance report, we have spent little money, and I can just tell you, it's little money that we've hired Nelson to take this on. Supplementing that, our $50,000 allocation from the state, we're this close. Once we get that $50,000, that is going to be where Nelson is going to be focusing, not just only on the bid, but majority of the bid.
Yeah.
And, I will tell you, let me give an example. And I'm just going to give the example that Jason had is that, and Station Lofts is that we're looking for private-public partnership. And
Mhm.
so for those that were on last time or saw the recording from last time, we had Alex from Clean City. So Old Colony Planning Council pays $500 a month. He comes twice a day, 6 days a week.
Mhm.
I'll tell you, my stress level has dropped immensely.
Thank you.
It is a thank you, but it's so far, I think.
Yeah, I wanna talk to
So,
you.
so that's why, so I know Cindy was on that too, so we're gonna
Yeah.
actually chat to see about partnership. So in an email I did send to the city, and Counselor Thompson I know was on this, but I had one counselor reply back saying they're not in favor of a public-private partnership. But that's what a business improvement district is. It's a private-public partnership. So I'm not causing my trash around my building. I'm not. But I'm respectful of my building, historic or not, but it's a building and a place for our employees to live. So it has to be a private-public partnership. So it's an assessment that is on the property owner, that the city assesses it. This is once the process gets approved, and we still have a ways away. But that is what it is. It has to be. And particularly for those that know the predicament of the city in terms of its deficit, right? And that's not being judgmental. We just can't rely on the city to be doing this, but meeting halfway from a perspective of the DBA is what we're looking for. So, Business Improvement District, for those that own property, you're gonna be seen by Nelson. If you're not by Nelson, you're gonna get an introduction from me. And yes, we're gonna keep plugging away. Any questions about Business Improvement District?
One thing we do on
Please.
nonprofit boards though, too, in line with what you're suggesting, and is like, people have contacts with these
Mhm.
businesses, so it's not just you reaching out.
Right.
Like, people just saying, okay, I'm gonna be responsible for, this is my friend, that's my friend, I'm gonna
Right.
call
Yeah.
them up and tell them that, like, I've joined on,
Yeah.
you should too.
Right.
They
You know?
hear about the benefits.
Yeah.
And I do believe that you should highlight this great gentleman that is out there cleaning, because
Right.
again, if it's bad, people hear about it in 2 seconds. If it's good,
Yeah.
it takes 20 years. So I just figured you might want to get a jump on it. Yeah.
We
Got
will,
it,
thank
yeah.
you, and we will
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
what I,
Throwing it out to people. This is good. Yeah.
yep, so property owners or businesses, we'll look for ambassadors to help reach out. I know there's a couple of you on this meeting that we have some of your signatures, or we're gonna be getting your signatures, and then we'll go from there. So thank you. This is ongoing, and Nelson will be coming to the meetings to provide updates about where we are, and perhaps if there's anyone that's interested in being an ambassador and going out with Nelson, I wholeheartedly welcome that.
Go
So,
out with you sometime, Nelson. Yeah, an old
I'll
lady
go with you.
going along.
Yeah, we'll go out with you, 100%.
Absolutely.
it's
yeah.
all being recorded, so I have all of your names, but
Yeah.
thank you. I'll tell you what, if you go out, I'll buy the coffee and the lunch. So maybe dinner or beer. So,
I'll go with the beer and the chips. Yeah.
so that is the Business Improvement District, and I just know that Rob May put in the chat for everyone that he's going to get EOI to submit to One Stop to continue the bid establishment support. What he's talking about is that there was a consultant that was hired through Mass Development, which is great. If it comes, it comes, but we're not waiting. That's
Yeah.
where Nelson is gonna be coming in and just, pardon me for saying it, going balls to the wall. That's what we're gonna go.
Yeah.
So, questions, we're gonna move on. Member highlights. So Eversource, we have, through, Commissioner Pat Hill, Pat reached out to say, hey, Mary, we've got some construction that's coming in around downtown,
Mention me.
but that's okay, right? Listen, there's one thing, I think it's just, again, in the effort that Commissioner Hill was doing this, is to be ahead of it and to let people know, and to let people know what is going on. And that is, communication is everything. So I am gonna turn this over to you, Ryan.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the entire Downtown Association for having us today. My name is Ryan Earl, Community Relations Specialist on behalf of Eversource that serves the city of Brockton. And with me today is Brian Gillis, our Manager of Gas Construction. And as previously stated in meetings with the city, as we do every year to promote our work throughout the city, Pat Hill made the suggestion that we come in front of the Business Association to give an overview of what we have planned in 2024. In efforts to make sure that we are as transparent and thorough as possible in our communications. So I see that the slides are up. I will turn our list of projects over to Brian to walk through very briefly. If it goes over 12, I may have to jump, but I will put my contact information in the chat so that everybody here, and this can be shared with any business, can have my email and my cell phone to give me a call if they have any further questions about any projects, or if they see work going on in the city, they can absolutely feel free to reach out and we can have a conversation about the work that we are doing. So with that, again, thank you for having us today, and I'll turn it over to Brian to get into more of the details.
Thank you, Ryan.
Hello, everyone. Brian Gillis, Manager of Construction over at Eversource here. And our office, we're based out of Brockton and do a lot of work within the city, and we'll continue to in the future. So just high level, this is the same presentation we presented to the DPW that we're sharing today. So, that's our management team down to the supervisor level for, the city of Brockton. And ultimately, why do we replace all our infrastructure? Within the municipalities we serve, specifically, we're talking about the city of Brockton today. So we have leak-prone pipe out there, cast iron pipe, unprotected coated steel or biosteel pipe. So that pipe's been in the ground as late as the 1800s. We got a piece of main last year and it said 1886 on it on Montello Street was the year that when we took it out of service. And it was actually imprinted right on the pipe. So a lot of old infrastructure on there. We're replacing it for public safety, to prevent leaks from occurring and then just upgrade our system, reliability of service to our customers and plan for, the future of what the industry provides. So our plan this year is to have, approximately 6 contractor crews working in the city throughout a variety of projects. And we just actually recently started construction as of this week. We'll start, mobilize and getting some of these projects off to a start. We do have a schedule that's in the plan. I think it's on the next slide. So if you want to jump through. So these are broken down, each job that we're going to be completing this year. So unlike last year, we had a lot of jobs, downtown, a lot of work near a lot of businesses. We do have some of the work similar this year, but we're not nearly as in the main corridor, busy roads as we were last year. So I'll quickly go through. I'll talk a little bit on each project, and then the further slides actually show some aerial photos of with streets highlighted and the limits of these projects. So the first one, which we're looking at here, Southland Terrace, I believe the total footage, is upwards of 8,000 feet. So it's a large project for us, and we'll be replacing the roads highlighted here in red. So we have what else? Section of Main Street, Watson Street, Home Street, Meadow Lane, a little bit of Brookside, and then down to the bottom neighborhood, Southland Terrace. The line highlighted there in the magenta, we have no proposed work there. That means it's going to be abandoned in place, but we're just showing that for a reference. Next slide. This would be our Malvern Road project. This is another large project. So some of these jobs might have multiple crews on there. This one's in a residential area, about 10,000 feet of new gas main going in, and then reconfiguring all the services to the Rainbow Terrace, which I believe is a Brockton Housing Authority facility.
Yep.
So we'll be there, large project, but there'll be, mix of roads, Wheeler Ave, Malvern Road, Holly Street, Lennox Street. And we're going from low pressure to high pressure. So getting rid of that old cast iron gas main.
Mm-hmm.
Next slide, please. All right, Montello Street. So we did a section of Montello Street out last year. So we considered last year's project phase 1. This year we're moving on to phase 2. So we will be going, from School Street down to Lawrence Street area. So we've got 2 crews out there. We started this week, pretty much just still setting up. So a couple side streets there. is Allen Street and Ridgeway Court. And small directional bore we completed on this section last year, which will give us a jump start. Next project's Greenfield Street, residential area here, but again, replacing some old low pressure cast iron gas main. Greenfield Street, Fairfield Street,
Mhm.
and a portion of Ellis Street. Next slide, please. North Line Street, we've had some work ongoing out there, really last year, but it's a continuation of a job from 2 years in the Grove Street area. So we got to go back and finish up our work out there from last season. So we got some work left on Parker Ave and over near Otto Street to get that new main activated and tie over all the services to the new gas main and abandon the old one. Next slide. This is essentially associated with the South Line Street project, what I just talked about. It's just a separate segment of gas main that's going to come off a new regulator station that we're putting out there. We're moving the existing regulator pit that's essentially underground with vaults over at the intersection of South Line Street and Perkins Ave. That will be relocated to its own separate lot away from that corner and those businesses. And this little project here highlighted in red will essentially be our new feed to introduce gas into our existing system on Perkins Ave. Next slide. So this goes together with the next few slides too. So master meters, I'll just touch on it real high level. There's a initiative through the Department of Public Utilities to replace facilities. These could be schools, these condo associations, apartment complexes, or housing authorities historically have, not all of them, but have had master meters. So that's essentially one gas meter serving the entire facility. But after that master meter is what we call customer piping. So we've regulated down to a pressure. And apartment, there's a few of these, which you're looking at here in the city of Brockton, that have thousands of feet of so-called customer piping underground and associated services. So those are supposed to be, maintained and operated by these facilities or housing authorities. And over the years, past 50, 60 years, plus or minus, essentially these systems have really not been maintained. It's kind of like a gray area. So the DPU has given these, facilities time to comply, whether they go out and get linked up with a company that does the maintenance, the oversight, the gas standards, the leak survey, the leak repair, or contract with their operator, utility operator, which in this case would be Eversource, for us to come in and replace all of that gas main and associated services. And essentially each unit would have their own, regulator and gas meter. And there would be zero customer piping with the exception of piping inside the buildings. And I believe that brings us to our end of presentation. Again, that was real high level, without going into extreme detail. Anyone
Well,
else?
Brian, that's helpful. A number of these projects are not in the downtown area, but to know that they are within avenues to head into downtown, whether South Main and
Yep.
or Pleasant Street. Certainly, we have Tom Tebow from the there we go. Tom Tebow from the Brockton Housing Authority is on, and it's great to hear that the experience has been great. So, how about questions about any of this? This is being recorded, so we'll have this, and as I brought up the chat as well, because Ryan's contact is right in the chat.
Yep, and I'll just note one other thing. So we do work with the DPW here in Brockton. We meet all the time. We try to plan for paving projects, water and sewer projects, future development. So we can get ahead of that and get in there and replace our infrastructure if it's needed to be done. So a lot of these projects, a lot downtown work was in preparation, for the new city of Brockton, that large building they're building to get out of that area. So when it's all paved and everything's complete, we're not back down there fixing leaks or ripping up the road trying to replace infrastructures. It's a coordinated effort.
So, Tom Tebow?
Yeah, I have one question. Actually, so you're going to be working on Montello Street, looks like starting, you said school, it was a little beyond school,
Correct.
which is one of the north-south corridors. I don't know if Pat Hill's in the room. I read
No.
last night that we're going to be working on Warren Avenue to make that one way, two ways. So will these be happening simultaneously?
So we discussed that when we recently met with them, and that's why we started there first and put 2 crews there. Our intention is to get that job wrapped up ASAP, to be out of that, the same. Essentially, the job's going on simultaneously to prevent traffic issues.
Okay.
Thank
Good
you.
question, Tom. And then Scott from Brockton Community Access asked if we can have the slides. We do have them, and we will share them with anybody else that has an interest in them. So is that
we're
okay,
to
Brian?
put-
What's that, Scott?
I was gonna say, so it's okay for us to put it on the channel, on the community bulletin board, so people know where the routes are being worked on?
Brian, is that
Yeah.
okay with you? Okay.
No issues on our end. I mean, it's essentially a public document, so.
Okay,
It just,
Thank
we're probably 95% sure that that's our plan. Things pop up, things can be added or subtracted, depending on other variables. So.
How about any other questions for Brian? Good questions. We'll get those up, and I think between the Buzz, Brockton Community Access, and some others that getting the word out. And perhaps even if we have, I know that at one point our website, we were having the challenges of trying to get around downtown when all the construction was happening and people were going in circles. So this is to help prevent that. And perhaps we can even just have that on our website as well. So any other questions for Brian? Eversource, thank you for being ahead of the game and keeping us updated. And if there's anything that changes, either through Commissioner Hill or Brian, you have my email address, and Megan and Elisa's too.
Appreciate your time, everyone.
Great,
Mary.
thank
Very
you.
much.
Thank you. So next we have a panel discussion, and I think we had a couple of challenges with some cancellation, but today we have Samia. Let me just make sure I get Samia is on, and Samia Walker from E for All, and we have Nelson Fernandez. So Nelson is a business owner. For those who don't know, he and his family had owned JJ's Cafe. We all salivate when we hear JJ's Cafe. We still salivate. But he is a business owner, and I think what I wanted to do is to have Samia and Nelson just do some quick discussions about resources. So Nelson, I'm gonna turn this over to you.
So there are I'm blanking on the name, Mary, the grant, Main Street America.
Main Street America.
We
sent them out in the, right?
So we sent that out. Main Street America has a lot of grants coming up as well. And then all members that are on this call, as time goes on, we'll be sending out some updates on available grants as they come in. One of the things that we are looking to do with the DBA is to set up or get some funding to do business technical assistance. Since I've started and I've been speaking with a lot of business owners in the downtown area, that's the one area where we're lacking just in general. And one of the reasons is, and I can attest as a small business owner myself, most of the folks that need technical assistance cannot afford any kind of consulting. It can be very expensive. So a few things, whether it's with business planning, financial planning, strategic planning, marketing is a big one that we get a lot of questions on. We'll start doing that within the next month or so. If anyone on this call is interested in getting some business technical assistance, please reach out to us so that way we have a good grasp of the engagement on that, and then we can start setting up setting up some classes and workshops on that as well.
Mhm.
Another area that we are looking at is a restaurant startup workshop series. So downtown, as a lot of us know, we don't have a ton of options. And actually on the SWOT analysis that we got, that was one of the weaknesses of not having enough dining options for the population of folks that we have downtown. A lot of that has to do with the lack of infrastructure for restaurants. Just simple things like engineering, pipes and gas is very expensive. It could be about $250,000 just to get a space open. And that's just on that. However, there's again, not a lot of resources out there. So we're in the process of just creating our own startup series, and hopefully with some folks that graduate from this program, we can link them up with funding resources and developers and to get a restaurant up and off the ground. And again, if anyone knows or anyone on here that is a budding restaurateur or knows of anyone, again, please reach out to us so we can see what kind of engagement we need for that as well.
Thank you, Nelson. So I know Samia is for E for All. Maybe if you can just unmute yourself and talk about what E for All is.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for having us here. We're so excited to share our resources, really to enhance on all of the things that Nelson just shared in regards to technical assistance, and what it takes to start, grow, or maybe even pivot your business. So my name is Samia Walker. I'm the executive director. E for All is short for Entrepreneurship for All. That is our mission, is to really engage and inspire and encourage entrepreneurs to go out and start their own business. We do that by providing a free business accelerator program. It runs for 12 weeks. We offer mentorship, seed funding, and also a college level business education. So when they engage with our program, there is an application process because it's free. But once they get in, they're spending at least 6 to 8 hours with us a week to really work on their business. So they're learning everything from their target customers. Are you charging the right price? What's your marketing plan? What's your sales funnel? We go through all of the opportunities. We also really focus heavily on the financial aspect of it. So we do our budgeting, our projections for at least 2 years. The main goal of our program is to really set them up to go for a larger pool of funds. So access to capital is a huge component of growing your business, and not that many people are best prepared, or they may be seen as a risk factor for investment. So what we do is we try to mitigate and eliminate any barriers to that process. We also partner with a lot of other community organizations to where once they complete our 12-week program, they're automatically qualified for additional sources of funding. One specifically through Bank 5, and the secondary one through Harbor One. So we have great community partnerships. This is a community-focused organization. We support at least 50 entrepreneurs a year with that one-on-one, high-touch, high-tech assistance. We also engage the community for mentorship opportunities. We ask the community to come out and evaluate their final pitches, their final presentations. We also do community pitch contests, which are similar to like a Shark Tank, but again, very community focused. We really rely heavily on that community engagement, because these are the people that you're living with, you're working with, they're going to frequent your establishment. So your establishment, so we really want to make sure that we have like all hands on deck and everyone gets really involved in that process. And again, all of our tools and resources are free. We do have an open door policy. You can engage with us at any time. You don't have to be a part of our program to access any of the information or resources that we have. We're welcome to share them. We love meeting new people. We're welcome to come out. We'd love to come out to your business and maybe host an info session, walk through the application so you can share with your network on what that looks like. We do have an accelerator starting in July. The application deadline is May 9th. And again, we're happy to do any individual sessions to help get that applications.
That's
Happy
great,
to answer
Sonia.
any questions. Thank you.
Questions from anybody on, I think we pinned you here. Any questions from anybody? So, Samia and, E for all are continuing to be, at the DBA meetings, and engaged, so we'll continue to have them at our table. In addition to that, NeighborWorks, Tricia White, continues to work with various organizations, including the BRA and the Chamber of Commerce to hold trainings as well. From my perspective, there isn't enough trainings, right? I mean, that it's not a one fit for every one person, because if you might be a young mom or a dad and you need daycare and you need to go at a certain time, and holding a training during the middle of the day doesn't always work, because if you're holding a full-time job. So that's one of the things that I think is really important, is to have, so as the trainings are held, to have them be recorded. So if you can't make it, that you're able to have that baseline of information. So whether it's E for All or NeighborWorks, or whether it's the Brockton Redevelopment Authority, or a whole host, we're gonna have a whole page of resources for all small businesses. So, thank you. Rashaleen, thank you, for sharing the, to apply for Be a Mentor. That part's really important as well. So thank you. Questions, anybody? I know, go ahead.
No.
But it is all great. I think what I see, so we have our 3 small business association. We also have the Greater Brockton Minority Business Association. We have the Chamber of Commerce. We have BRA. What really needs to happen is that we all come together and we support each other, and that we don't replicate, that we kind of work together on. And I think that's the piece that's really important. Also really important is that be multilingual as well, because our diverse population, Cape Verdean Creole, Portuguese Creole, thank you very much. I do need them. But I don't see any other buddy with hands up. I need to see where I see everybody. There we go. Here we go. Okay. So, Samia and E for All, thank you. And Nelson, appreciate that as well. We have a lot more work to do, and lots of venues, whether it's Brockton Community Access or Buzz Around, certainly to get that word out. So thank you. Next on the agenda, I'm just looking at time. We're going to be celebrating Women's History Month. Thank you very much for bringing that up. So as you can see, actually, Megan, or Elise, if you can just scroll down a little bit. I believe that we sent this out in the newsletter. We just send along information if you have someone. I'm sorry?
Something out into the spring.
Oh. Yep. Stand by. Damn. Technical difficulties here. So it's really important that we are able to support women-owned businesses in the downtown. And so look in the newsletter for more information. Thank you. There's the nomination of a woman of the DBA, and we'll be celebrating those women-owned businesses. So we will share, oh, there we go. Amanda, thank you for doing that. Amanda, if you're on, do you want to just talk a little bit more about this?
Yeah. So what we'd like to do is, obviously we want to make sure that we're featuring women-owned businesses that are in the downtown Brockton area. But also, if you wanted to submit a feature for somebody who's either involved in the community or involved in one of the local businesses, just folks, women who are making an impact here in Brockton. We want to be able to feature folks and highlight some opportunities and get the information out to folks. It'd be great if they were willing to provide a photo. If you're not willing to provide a photo, we'll gladly share your business logo as well. But we'd love to just put a couple, few sentence pieces together for some remarkable women who are part of Brockton and making an impact, and we want to be able to feature them on our social media channels and in our, upcoming newsletters. So please share if you can think of somebody really, special, or somebody that you've had a great impactful experience with. Don't be shy. We'd love to learn more about them.
Thank you, Amanda. This is a brainchild of Amanda, and I think this is where we really want to make sure that we continue to be engaged with our membership. Moving on, I don't think I see Derek Salamone on this in terms of the Brockton Police Department, but we do have our new member of the District Attorney's Office, Mintron. And I don't know, Min, that if you would like to just say a couple words about what your efforts in the District Attorney's Office are doing. We'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. So then next we have the government agenda. I believe I see Counselor Thompson is on.
Hi, Mary, everyone. Good afternoon. Just a couple things happening on the city side in regards to downtown. The first thing I'm working on is a cleaning ordinance. This cleaning ordinance is a kind of ordaining a policy that we've developed in regards to our downtown bridges and our downtown parks. So essentially, this will ordain that Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, the Brockton Police would come out to the downtown bridges in the morning. They would be accompanied by our social services department to provide any services or inform anybody that's under the bridges of services available. After that, anybody remaining under the bridge would be asked to leave. And then behind them, DPW would come in to commence cleaning of the bridges. Additionally, the Parks Department will also be involved in this process as it pertains to Perkins Park and Finnegan Park downtown. And so I'm filing the ordinance so that this would be, have the weight of law behind it, and we can get consistent cleaning of the downtown bridges. Additionally, I know I informed this group about a meeting with the MBTA in regards to access to that little nook area under the downtown bridges. So we had a follow-up meeting last month, and the MBTA did agree to put no trespassing signs under these bridges. That's a welcomed, welcome relief for these bridges, but we're going to have to see how this no trespassing process plays itself out, and hopefully it'll be something that we can have in the toolbox to clear out the bridges when necessary. Additionally, in regards to, say, regular homelessness, both in the downtown and throughout Brockton, we're hoping that the Supreme Court will soon hear the Boise case. From my understanding, that should be heard in April, which is a Ninth Circuit case, which and essentially handcuffed municipalities in their efforts to reduce homelessness or encampments on public spaces. So that matter will be heard by the Supreme Court in April, with a final judgment to be rendered in June. And hopefully that will, provide more leeway of municipalities dealing with encampments in our public spaces. This morning, I had the opportunity to tour the new Father Bill's facility on Manley Street. This is a great facility. It will have 128 shelter beds. It'll also have 32 permanent residents on site and day services. It looks great. It's coming along. It's expected to come online in December. And at that point, they expect that the transition from their facility downtown to this facility will be relatively quick, a week or two, and then essentially the downtown shelter will be closed. Another issue I'm working on is Sycamore Grove. This is the public green space that is proposed to be behind the old BAT bus station on Main Street. So this is behind the Joe Angelo's all the way down to the old Sweeney's. And so where this project is moving along slowly but surely, and hopefully we'll all be meeting soon to kind of take another step in this process. I think this is a vital public green space in the heart of our downtown. And so I'm hoping it'll be fully funded by ARPA funds. So I'm hoping over the next few months, we'll have some real progress on Sycamore Grove. The Brockton Redevelopment Authority will be holding their Uganda Challenge tomorrow, March 21st at 3:30 p.m. Over at their at the BRA over at on School Street. This is a public-private partnership to help address our homeless situation downtown. It's open to the public. If anybody has time to attend, I hope they do so. It'll just provide more resources to deal with the homeless situation downtown. And then lastly, next week, the Anglin Building, this is 93 Center Street, the old Brockton Furniture Building, will be having their ribbon cutting at 11 a.m. On the 26th. And so if anybody's available, please come out for that. This is an important residential development downtown. It's open. It's been accepting leases for the past few months, and I believe will be expected to be at 100% capacity at the end of April. That's just a quick summary of some of the things that the city is working on downtown. I'm glad to be with you all again today. I want to wish everybody a very happy spring and a happy Easter. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Counselor. I wish the weather was cooperating with it being spring, but thank you very much. Is there anybody else? Just raise your hand from government that needs to provide an update. I've got about 10 minutes left.
Mary, I'm not from government, but I just wanted to ask Jeffrey if he had plans for his downtown cleanup day like he did last spring.
Jeff, did you hear that?
I did, and I'm working on that right now, Anne. I'm hoping that will be done within the next month or so. But the city of Brockton has already put on the books, and I believe it's May 5th, but don't quote me on that. But our Keep Brockton Beautiful Day will be held in one of the weekends in May. I believe it's early May. But that'll be another opportunity for the community to come out and clean up downtown.
Thank you.
And nothing prevents us as a DBA for putting together our own group to clean up. So I just would wait until after the snow comes over this weekend. But thank you, Counselor. I know we'd be talking about snow after April, after March. Anybody else that has Michael Lambert? I know that you're unmuted, but you're still having the fare free for
Correct,
Brockton area transit.
Yep, that runs through the end of May, so feel free to spread the word and invite any of your customers or employees to take advantage of the free service.
Great. Thank you, Michael. We can do a little bit more promotion of that. All right, we're winding down. I don't see anybody else's hands from government. Just about additional happenings for some of you that are in the office. We have some flyers, but Megan or Elise, if you can scroll through, these will all be on, thank you, upcoming events. So let's stop here. That's tonight, the Art Smart at the library at 6:30. Amazing artwork by the local students. So we have flyers here, and then it will also be, we'll try to get that onto our website. Bo McCall buttons on, thank you. This is from the Fuller Craft Museum. Thank you for including this. They would just like us just to reach out. There's an opening reception. And I think there was a call that also went from the Fuller, but check out the Fuller Craft Museum. And this pretty amazing display that they have coming up. Thank you. Next is, so Jim Stapleton. Man, this man is everywhere, but Jim Stapleton has a group from South Junior High. They're having a summer gala. It's going to be on June 15th. They are looking for sponsorships. And somehow I made it onto his committee. But my husband, John, went to South Junior High, and it's a great school. And, you know, obviously with the school system, middle school, high school, elementary schools, they all need some help. So what Jim does and what these funds go right back into the school and for the students. So this flyer will also add, I believe Jim said he wants to come to the April meeting. So we'll share this out with everybody. And then next. Is that it?
That's all we have.
Okay.
Okay.
I know, in all honesty, I know Paul Ankle is on this, Brockton Public Library, the Council on Aging, there's always things that are going on there, the Brockton Library, I know there's just amazing things going on there besides the art program, but there's poets and, but also just a community center. So to Paul Angle and the Brockton Library, that really is a nice hub for everything that's going on. Are there any other shout outs?
Well, I'm just gonna mention that since you brought it up, Brockton Library, they're doing the whole thing, Pat Monteith, that
Oh, thank
remarkable,
you.
amazing woman.
Thank you.
Incredible.
She's doing it when? Wednesday?
Yeah.
Are we talking about the solar?
Yeah.
Solar, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
there's
Wednesday next,
Yeah.
yeah, if I have it correctly, next Wednesday night,
Yeah,
okay? And then she's doing it again on Saturday, April 6th at 12 noon.
right.
And this is for the eclipse.
Yes.
That's gonna change up the whole, dynamic here on Monday, April.
What's gonna happen to you, Ann, on
Well,
that
I'm
day?
hoping.
I'm go back in time.
That'd be good. We can- But the other thing is, in all seriousness, now that people are getting out in the yards and everything,
Yes.
Broughton Garden Club, we meet at Our
Right.
Lady of Lourdes. It's
Mhm.
always free to the public. Monday, March 25th, yeah, let's not rush things. 6:30, the doors open, and this is terrific. We have Mass Audubon Society, Sean Kent.
Mhm.
This is not the first time he's spoken in Brockton, and this is about birds in your backyard and pollinating and migrating, and he's just totally phenomenal. We always invite people, anyone can come. It's free, like I said.
When's the
Doors open
plant
at
sale?
6:30.
When's the plant sale?
Excuse me, the plant sale is not till May 18th, but I
Okay.
didn't want to really throw too much of May into people's,
It's okay, planning.
but I will leave it here. And meanwhile, but no, in all seriousness, that's kind of important because it's really talking about, that how many, unfortunately, birds we're losing if we don't change things up. So on that note, and let's not forget that we have Massasoit, we can walk there from here. And the students and the professors are incredible. Last week, BCA taped them, they were too cute, and they were in the STEM program, and let me tell you, they were extremely knowledgeable, and there are 20,000 different species of native bees. Okay, they did not name all of them, but anyway, in all seriousness, they brought this all out, and again, they're available for so many types of projects, and between the
Great.
students and the professors, and we
Thank you,
can take
Ann.
advantage of that, because that's just such a tremendous aspect.
Thank you, Ann.
Okay.
So there's a lot of stuff. We'll get them. Email me flyers. That's the only way. And then I will make sure that I will get them onto our website. And I don't see any other hands that are up, for those that are in the audience, those that are online. But we'll continue this. Will be May is our next meeting. I do want to be able to, oh, sorry, I jumped over.
Yeah.
We're having one in April. But I do want to again reinforce Clean City crew, with Alex, and I know there's a couple folks who have texted me, emailed me separately. And, it's really important that this truly is a public-private partnership. This cannot be. Thank you very much for pulling up the flyers.
That's great.
I will say that, Elise and Megan, Lisa and Megan were from my office, put together the flyer. I do want to
They're
just.
very talented.
Well, they're talented. Amanda Glennon from Mass Hire is talented, but, if anybody has any items for April that you'd like to talk about, please send, myself, the brocktondba@gmail.com, and we'll get you onto the agenda. So any kind of interest, all right? Memberships.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Okay.
everybody.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye-bye.